Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watch team is here with your latest update for the 14th day of November, 2023. As you can see on the map, there's an area of red here with deep convection. As you can see, that is what we're going to be talking about, and its impacts to Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, the entire island of Hispaniola, and possibly the Bahamas too. Just want to point out that the heaviest and worst impacts from this system is going to be the heavy rain, the flooding, and the mudslides. There will be no impacts to the lower 48 or mainland United States. However, this could intensify into some sort of a more significant system once it gets closer to the Bahamas. But the cold front that's expected to come through will pull it out to sea, so no impacts to the United States weather will be impacted by this system. I want to take a look at the models and just how much rain can we see from this system in the Caribbean Sea. So taking a look at the amount of rain that we could see, total precipitation, I do expect we could see several feet of rain over the island of Hispaniola, specifically Haiti, and is more prone to these very dangerous storms. Even the weaker storms can produce a lot of heavy rain, and Haiti is prone to getting flooded. So if we look over time and just over the next 36 to 48 hours, the storm just really sits in that one area. It doesn't move around a lot. It kind of just getting itself together. It's going to take a couple days for it to get itself together. The stronger these storms get, the more they're going to move because it's trying to fight high pressure off to the north here over Texas, and that's why it's just being suppressed and it's just sitting down here. It's not going anywhere. And so it's just sitting there over that hot, warm water, bubbling, developing, convecting, and organizing. So that's really what's going to be happening over the next couple of days. 36 to 48 hours. Once we get past that, you can see the storm begins to develop and makes its way away from the Central America, so Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica, and that area. It's going to make its way off to the northeast over Jamaica and Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and it's going to produce lots of heavy rain. It sits over that area. It produces anywhere from probably 36 to 48 inches of rain over the course of just a day and a half. Lots of intense rain is expected with this. Landslides, mudslides, and possibly catastrophic flooding is possible. Once this makes it past the Dominican Republic, Haiti, island of Hispaniola, it's going to be sitting over very, very warm sea surface temperatures, and so it's going to be able to develop and quickly intensify, and we could even see a weak hurricane, possibly 75, 80 miles an hour. Now again, no one will be directly impacted by this. So we're dealing with the Bahamas. The Bahamas could also see some of the southern islands could see some gusty winds and heavy rain from this, but there won't be any storm surges, not going to be a big threat. The biggest threat is going to be the heavy rain and the flooding. Looking at in terms of how strong it is air pressure wise, that gives us also an idea. If we go back to the 72-hour mark, so you can see it does develop down here. It's very, very weak, and it gets pulled off towards the north and to the east. I just put this into motion. You can see that. And that happens because of the cold front, kind of just rips it apart. The temperatures are colder, the wind shear shreds it apart, and the core cannot stay intact anymore. I'm going to go over here and actually look at the models and talk a little bit about what the GFS is showing. This is a little bit easier to see and a little bit easier to digest. So starting here, you can kind of see the date, 24 hours. We are also seeing this system here in the northern Gulf of Mexico. Brought lots of heavy rain to Louisiana and Texas yesterday. It just sort of falls apart, doesn't do anything, doesn't develop into anything. Just a big rainmaker. And another system over the southern, off the coast of Florida develops. That's going to be a whole nother video. You know, that's a whole other thing of shenanigans in the weather world. That could become a northeaster, according to what the models are saying. So really that system just, the one in the Caribbean really just sort of falls apart. It's going to be a really big rainmaker, and it's going to produce a lot of flooding. I don't think that we're going to be seeing, a hurricane really from this, but the possibility is there. It just depends on what all the conditions are looking out for this to be. Alright, so I do want to look at the sea surface temperatures, get an idea of just how warm the water temperatures are right now, and that kind of makes it easier for us to get an idea of what the storm's going to do. So in the Caribbean, water temperatures are anywhere from 29 to 31 degrees Celsius. That's well above 88 degrees Fahrenheit, and warm enough to allow for tropical cyclone development. So sea surface temperatures are more than warm enough to allow this. However, the wind shear does seem relatively high, and so I don't expect a very well developed tropical cyclone to come out of this. Nothing like a hurricane or a super strong major hurricane. It's going to be a big rain event. That's all that's really going to be a big rain event. Maybe 50, 60 mile an hour wind gusts are also possible. Down trees, power outages, definitely in Puerto Rico, or Dominican Republic, and Haiti and Jamaica, Western Cuba, Turks and Caicos Islands. That's certainly going to be the biggest possibilities from this. There's not going to be, tornadoes from this. There's not going to be, really, really powerful 160 mile an hour winds, flattening entire towns. There's not going to be any of that. It's going to be a big rain event. So the number one killer of hurricanes in any situation is always the water. Water kills more than anything else. So that's currently where it's at right now. If you look at the today, this is the latest from the National Hurricane Center. They are just giving it a low chance for the next 2 days because it's just sort of sitting there over Nicaragua and Honduras, not developing, just going through a lot of convection and getting itself organized. It is going to slowly make its way off to the north and to the east towards Jamaica and Dominican Republic. And as that happens, that's when we do think that this storm is going to try to get its act together. But this is not going to be a very well-developed system in the first place. Big, messy flood event. So if you live in these areas, have family members or friends interested in these areas, should monitor the development of this system. Get all your chargers together. Make sure you have food for your pets. Water. Everyone should have a gallon of water. In the chance that you do use a generator, make sure that you do use a generator outside of the house. Carbon monoxide buildup in the house, or even carbon monoxide can even leak through the walls and fill the house up and kill you. So make sure you leave generators outside, but make sure you have all your medicine, water, food, non-perishable things, because if the power goes out, your meat or any perishable foods are going to rot and spoil. Okay. So that's really it for that. It's going to be a quick system once it develops, and it's going to produce a lot of heavy rain and across those areas. We'll continue giving you all updates on this. I do want to talk a little bit about that system that we could be seeing in terms of a nor'easter. I also want to talk a little bit about the upper level winds and how the upper level winds are different with a tropical versus a non-tropical system. Western Atlantic. So as you do see here, we do have lots of outflow here. With this system, this is at the low levels. It's 1,005 millibars. And you can see here, that shows that there's outflow, which means the storm is trying to breathe. With this system, you have, here's a jet stream, okay? It has a positive tilt to it. The winds move in this direction, and the storm breathes from differences in air pressure because it's at the mid-levels, not at the surface. And so what that means is when there's a change in, because the air spreads apart here, okay, see how the molecules are farther apart here than they are, let's say, here, and that's because of the tilt of the jet stream, and so the air particles kind of speed up, and they separate, and there needs to be air that replaces it, so there's more convection. And so that's kind of a sign that we are seeing that could be a big storm that would be developing there off the coast of Florida, but it would not be tropical in nature. It would be extratropical or extratropical, not subtropical. It would have no tropical characteristics. Again, if we look back at the low levels, the vorticity, you can see that here at the low levels, Again, that storm in the northern Gulf, it's just going to be a big rain event. It's going to fall apart. It's going to die out. And then there's going to be a new storm that spawns off the coast of Florida, northern Bahamas. Now, this is at the surface. So it does look very healthy. And it does eat, oh, well, that could be a tropical cyclone. But no, you have to look at the upper level winds and what the upper levels are showing. And it's showing that that is an extra tropical cyclone. And then we do have this system down there, again, in the Caribbean, making its way towards Haiti. Big, big flood event. Not specifically a well-defined low center developing, but nonetheless, I do believe that this will be just a big flood event, not going to be concentrated with a specific hurricane. Okay, looking at the northern United States a little bit, I do want to talk a little bit about this. Not a whole lot. I'm going to go to precipitation moisture and take a look at this right here. So again, in the chance that this does develop into something that is, this system does become a bomb cyclone, in order for that to be classified as a bomb cyclone, the air pressure would have to drop by 24 millibars in 24 hours. Another reason you can tell that this would be a bomb cyclone is, well, look at the air pressure, it's 971 millibars. Okay? You also see how lines of equal pressure, how many lines there are in equal pressure over distance. That is a tight wind gradient, which means there's a change in air pressure over distance. And that means wind. That's what wind is. Wind is when the air pressure changes. That's all it is. So that tells me you got a bomb cyclone or a very powerful nor'easter there in Atlantic Canada. I really want to save that for a completely different video, but I do want to point out we will be talking about that in more depth in our next video later today. So stay tuned for that. That's really going to be it for today's tropical weather update. Today it was a quick update. Wanted to just cover the basics of what to expect. I do want to show you all a little bit of satellite imagery so you'll have an idea of where the storm is, kind of what it looks like right now. So there's the storm. Just an area of convection and thunderstorms right now in the Caribbean Sea. You can in fact see bits, some outflow trying to develop, which means the storm is trying to breathe and develop into something. And you also got this area of low pressure off the coast of Louisiana and Texas. It's bringing lots of heavy rain and flooding to Louisiana, unfortunately. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. This has been the Hurricane Watch Team, your source for cyclone information. Take care and peace out.